Hello and welcome to another episode of the KFace podcast.
Geoff, get away from Gavin. Get away from Gavin. I think he's got a blindside. I think Gavin's got a blindside. Get away from him.
Are you serious?
Get away from him. I think so. I think Gavin might have a blindside.
To be blind. No, I don't have anything.
I don't trust it.
Nah.
He's been texting me about cricket. I think he's gonna make us watch a cricket video.
Are you gonna make us watch a fucking cricket video?
I think he's gonna make us watch a cricket video.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. Why would I do that?
I think he's blindside. I don't trust it.
If I get through the intro, he can't, we're in.
Is there
a window for calling the blindside?
I think it's got to be before
we never established that.
Well, we can establish it right now.
That's a rule? I think that's a bad rule. I vote no on
So
that
you
rule.
want to blindside somebody 45 minutes into a podcast?
Yeah, I do.
No.
Yeah, I really do.
No.
Because that's where that goes.
No.
That's the kind of
Absolutely
lawless chaos that we
No.
end up with if we do it that way.
No.
Well, listen. I think going forward, Gavin, do you have a blindside or do you not have a blindside?
Nope.
Okay, that's
This
a bad
is
read by me. Bad read by
Standard,
me.
well, I mean, I didn't bring up cricket. You brought up baseball, didn't you?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. That was a bad read by me.
Okay.
I think if somebody is going to blindside and they get called before they can deploy it, they lose their blindside.
Wow.
They just don't get to do what they want to do.
How
But
often can you call a blindside?
that's what I'm about to say. Going forward, if you call it and you're wrong, you lose your blindside. So now that we've established the rules, we still all have blindsides, but Geoff, I think those are some important factors.
So when do I get my blindside back?
Once everybody else blindsides, I feel.
Yeah, but
Oh,
what if Nick is fucking lazy and doesn't want a blindside?
Does Nick have a blindside?
Yeah, does Nick get a blindside?
I didn't think Nick got a blindside.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, Nick, you're a second-class citizen. So it's just the three of us then?
Yeah, I would think
Eric,
it's
go
just
fuck
3 of you.
yourself.
I'm definitely not calling a blindside.
No,
I'm
Eric
trying to
is
get as
never
many
gonna call.
episodes of this show in the bank as I can.
Okay. So the three of us then. So I have to wait because I have another blindside queued up and ready to go.
Does the audience know about blindside yet?
I think it just came out.
At this point, I believe Blindside will have come out, yes.
Okay.
If not, then this whole thing needs to be removed.
Oh yeah, hold on just a second. Episode 159. My name's Geoff Ramsey. With me as always, Gavin and Andrew and Nick and Eric. Although they're less with us apparently because they don't get the blindside.
Yeah, obviously.
You still mentioned blindside in the safe intro.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have to because I want to talk about blindside.
Well, I just wanted
Okay.
to get through the intro.
Oh.
We fucking
it's
stopped.
usable.
Andrew outed your non-blindside before I could finish saying who we were.
We're not in another paranoid era. I don't want anyone to think that.
What a regular way to say that.
I've been thinking about it for a while, and I don't know if I have the energy for another paranoid phase. It's pretty
Yeah.
exhausting.
Well, you initiated one, so you can't make that claim and then bring us into the era of paranoia.
Yeah, you can't do a blindside and then not have the energy to even listen to a bird chirp.
Listen. I that's how I absolutely can. That's in my DNA. I was
Yeah.
born
You
a
know what?
fucking
You
hypocrite.
kind of just did. So we can't really say you can't.
I have a question for Andrew.
Yes.
Well, you made me laugh on text the other day when you were saying about how you need the whole wine thing and
Yeah, the conversation we referenced. Yeah.
put in a glass that only they make. I gave you 4 hearts for that. And then you said you were going to take that momentum into the next day, living that 4-har lifestyle. I just want to know how you took that energy into the following day.
I think it was a good day. What day was it? Yesterday? Is that yesterday or 2 days ago? Listen, I don't know. It's tough for me to track time. I've been sick, Gavin, and the spelling bee is on, so my priorities have been shifted. I'm scouting kids. I'm looking at words. Hearing bells ring. It's a whole thing.
Please clip that.
Our out of context stuff is going apeshit at the moment.
Yeah, what did I say that was out of context? What could have been bad in that statement?
Scouting kids?
Scouting kids? I feel like you hear that in sports all the time.
I think last episode I said eat a kid or something, or eat a baby, like talking about Colin the caterpillar. Eat a
I don't
child or
remember
something. Oh,
I
okay.
don't remember that at all.
I do. We were talking
Well,
about
glad I've-
Colin's little babies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the little ones. Yeah, they sucked. They look terrible.
You don't know that they sucked. You haven't
No, I
even made
said-
one.
I said they look terrible.
What looks terrible about it? I don't understand.
You were with me that they were weird. The tiny little ones are weird.
They're still the same cake, though. Damn.
Oh, now you're fucking all about Colin and his kids. That's a quick shift. You're with me. You know, we're all out of sync just right. We need to play video games.
All right.
I thought you were with me on Colin and the kids.
Please play video games, you two.
Did you see, by the way, that we caused Al Pacino to have a baby?
Oh no, I want to be blamed for that.
We did.
That's
Oh man,
Who saw that coming?
83, I think.
Oh my god. He's gonna be 101 at his kid's high school graduation.
He made a movie 40 years ago where he said he was too old to play football, and he's making people. He's making people today.
And the person having his kid was born in like 1994 or something.
No, they're my age.
Well, I think so.
Oh man, no.
Doesn't seem fair that there's a life cycle to the uterus, but the penis just gets to keep on making babies forever.
Yeah, well, it's the balls mainly, I think. But
Yeah, well, they got to go through the penis.
You know,
Group effort.
do you think that this was a response to the De Niro thing? Because I feel like they get compared a lot, and like he felt like he needed to establish.
Yeah, I think it was a direct rebuttal.
A direct counter.
I'll show you.
Just two kids who are 15 when their dads are dead, hanging out.
Oh
Good
my
Lord.
god. Oh my god. Jesus.
What? De Niro and Pacino aren't going to be around for 15 more years.
He's
Jesus Christ.
he's old enough to be somebody's great grandfather.
Absolutely. If they're old enough that if it said died of natural causes, you would not be alarmed.
That's a good point.
They're in that range.
He's natural causes age.
He's natural causes age.
Oh my god.
I think he's having a kid with someone who was born after Friends died.
Ugh. Oh. Oh no. Was it on purpose? Was it at least an accident?
Which is better to you, just out of curiosity?
Accident. By far. Accident, not intent. If Al Pacino was just like, I didn't know I had it in me either, then I would be like, okay, that's not great, but like, at least you weren't trying for a kid.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine wanting to have sex in your 80s? I really don't think I'll be there.
Yeah?
You'll think
I don't
you've just done
know.
it.
I mean, most people in their 80s, they're not in great shape. I don't know that I'll be in the best of shape in my 80s. And sex is a lot of, I mean, I enjoy it. It's great, but it's a lot of work. And I just don't know that I'll want to be bothered with it in my 80s. It just seems like one of those things where you're like, at some point you quit cutting the grass. At some point, you're like, I'm too old to do that shit anymore. At some point, I'm not going to hit any more baseballs. I'm going to go, you know what? I've hit enough baseballs in my life. I feel like sex would follow.
Would you like an alarm that goes off to signify the last time you do something?
Yes. I think it would be I think it would be heartbreaking and terrifying because it'd be like you brush your teeth and the alarm goes off and you're like, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it'd be a lot nicer on stuff that you rarely do. Like, I feel like there's definitely some games that I didn't assume I was going to stop playing that I put down and I will literally never pick up again.
Yeah, Fallout 3.
You blame me for that.
I do.
Wait, who stopped? What's this Fallout situation?
I came to stay with Geoff for a few months and we started playing games together, like co-op games.
Okay.
But Geoff was in the middle of playing Fallout 3 and he kept saying, I can't wait for you to go home so I can carry on playing Fallout 3. And I went home and he still has never, I think it's been
Here's what.
15 years and you still haven't picked it up?
We were all Gears of War that whole trip. I feel like you
Yeah.
and I we played a shitload of Gears co-op, and then you left, and I picked up Fallout 3, and I went, "How the fuck does this work?"
Yeah.
And then it was too late.
It's a rough game to put down for 3 months.
Yeah, it really is.
3 months?
Well, I stay for a long time when I visit.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just didn't, in my head, it was like 2 weeks was how I imagined it. 3, yeah. No, that's dead. You killed Fallout for him.
Summer of 07.
Yeah, when Gavin would come, he would stay for as long as possible. We would get as much out of our hangout time as we could.
What's messed up is the summer of 07 is 9 years after the summer of 98.
God, how's the summer of 98 doing? Are you guys living your 98 lifestyles?
I mean, the weather's good.
Weather is good.
Yeah. The Al Pacino thing is really throwing me for a loop. I'm just thinking she was 4. Summer of 98.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's not great.
98, that's how old Al Pacino's going to be when he has his next kid.
Oh, no. They're certainly done, right?
I mean,
He can't
Alec
do it
Baldwin
again.
keeps having kids.
How, Andrew?
How many kids does Al Pacino have?
How could you say that they're certainly done? If I told you 10 years ago that he was having a kid, you would say, oh, he's certainly done.
Or
Keep
20.
going. The sky's the limit.
When Al Pacino got the news, he was like, every time I'm out, they pull me back in.
Oh, my God. Is that what this show is? What's happening?
I don't know.
Pull me back in. It sounds like he needs to be pulling out.
Oh. Was that Errol or was that Gavin?
That was Errol.
He said that line, and I said, that guy sounds like he likes fruitcake or something, or whatever other flavor you prefer but don't like.
No, that was Whooptone. Why didn't you get it right?
Well, he likes strawberry. He likes strawberry.
Wilton likes a strawberry jelly filling. What do you guys want to talk about this episode?
I had a sad realization that Al Pacino's having kids.
Okay.
I had a second one. I no longer can claim that I have the greatest accomplishment from anyone that lives in Nanaimo. It's dead.
Oh no,
That dream is dead. That legacy is over. I was on top of Garfield Mountain. I was proud. I was up there a while. I don't know if you guys saw this. There's a new Nanaimo legend.
Woman 19 wins UK.
Oh right,
A woman from Nanaimo won the cheese race.
Yeah, she got knocked out, right?
She got knocked unconscious and won while unconscious. I thought you had to
That's
actually catch the
phenomenal.
cheese. You just have to be the first to the bottom.
Yeah, I think you're just chasing the cheese.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was like whoever grabbed it got the cheese, but no, she just made it to the bottom unconscious.
She went all the way to England to get knocked out chasing cheese. I love it.
I don't think she planned on entering until like roughly around the time. That was her gaining consciousness, being like, what just happened?
Finding
Oh,
out she won.
cheese.
You wake up with a wheel of cheese and you're surrounded by people and they're going, you won, you won.
Weren't you supposed to name the cheese at one point or something?
Yeah, that was a thing in the past.
Or did it happen?
No, that never happened. I don't know if it was a real cheese race.
Oh.
I never tracked down the validity of the offer.
What a weird thing to not follow up on.
On whose part? Mine or theirs?
Both.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer. You're right. It is both.
Is there a clip of her getting knocked out? Or
There
is
is, yeah. I don't. It was like on TikTok or something. But
Do you think it would make your falls list?
It's not a fun fall. It is like a momentum, earth-shattering.
Oh, Nick
Like,
says
it's great.
minute 5 into that clip. Let's have a look.
105.
Minute 5. Okay.
Okay. Oh.
So she's just going full speed, and then her legs no longer could go that speed, and her body kept going, and her head smashed into the ground.
Dude, with that angle
Oh my
and that
God.
speed, it's like she fell from like 12 feet up. Oh, the bounce. She
Nick's
tucked
point.
well.
She did. I think she said that was her goal. She wanted to tuck to not break anything. So that's been my sadness. I'm very happy for her, but I can no longer claim to have the greatest
fuck.
accomplishment.
Oh, how about this? You are the most successful, famous Nanaimoan who's never been knocked out in the service of the thing that made them famous. You've never lost consciousness.
Are you worried that it looked like she landed on her face, but she didn't break her nose, and now that's maybe not even your thing too now?
I think if you were to ask her, because I did consider this, I don't think she'd say she has an unbreakable nose. That was also a grass. There's a lot of grass in that field. There's a lot of cushion.
Well, why didn't you treat this like a challenge and maybe go next year?
I think if I fell down that hill, Gavin, I'd still be rolling. I'd still be going.
What do you mean? You just like keep rolling, then you like suddenly on the M4.
You roll all the way back to
Yeah,
Canada.
I would turn into like a fucking Decepticon or whatever that you kept mentioning before.
Yeah,
like I would
Porterhouse.
just, yeah, I would become. I think the roll would start. It would never stop. It would be like unstoppable. They would have to try to come up with a way to like stop my momentum.
I would love you to meet this person and maybe do our first face interview. Maybe ask her how it felt. What?
What?
That's the worst dress.
What's wrong with you?
How did it feel to get knocked out?
I don't know, like, she's clearly got information that we don't. She can give us.
Can you imagine watching a fight where somebody got knocked out? And
You can ask her hard-hitting questions like, my friend Gavin, he got knocked out once when he was a little boy and he went blind for 2 days. How did you not go blind for 2 days?
oh my god. Oh, it's the worst question I've ever.
There's a reason I'm not an interviewer.
Is that really what you want to know? Do you genuinely want to know how does it feel?
That was like Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld used to go on the Howard Stern show all the time, and then when the Seinfeld show happened and he got famous, he did not need to anymore, and he wasn't on for like 25 years, and finally he came back on, and like the first question Howard asked him after the introduction and stuff is he goes, he's like, so we're talking about your ideas. Where do your ideas come from? And Seinfeld goes, really? After 25 years, is that where we are with this?
Oh
Where do my ideas come from? That's the best question you could come up with to ask me out the gate, and it was so like emasculating.
Oh.
Oh man.
We saw him live once.
Yeah, that was a great time. That was a lot of fun.
I think that was the
Was it
saddest
good?
I've ever seen you, though.
That was pretty sad.
Yeah, it was a really funny set. Calm down.
I was.
Yeah, we were laughing our asses off at Seinfeld. We were sort of surprised at how clean his act was.
Yeah.
Well, I was at least. and then on the as we're walking out, Jeff's just like, I think I'm gonna pack it all in. I think I'm gonna quit. I'll never be as funny as him. And you just got into like a weird spiral of depression based on how funny Jerry Seinfeld was.
I was drinking a lot back then.
Yeah.
I was pretty drunk, I think. But also, like, there was something that used to really bum me out when I'd see people do something better than I'd ever be able to do it, and just be like, "Oh, I'm not that," you know. It used to really affect
Like someone
me,
who can
I guess.
get knocked out and win a race.
Yeah. If I get knocked out, I'm losing the race, guarantee you.
If you get knocked out, can you tell us how it feels?
Only if somebody asked me in an interview.
All right, Andrew, what would you ask?
I don't know. I have to think about it, but I don't think. How does it feel? Oh,
Here's what we do. You prepare a question.
okay.
You'll meet up with her in Nanaimo, and then you ask her your question, and then you ask her my question, and see which has a better response.
No, I think I just lead with your question. We see how it goes.
How about this? You do the interview, but you only ask her Gavin's question, and then you go, "Okay, thank you for your time."
Yeah. Oh man.
Can I change the subject a little bit?
Of course.
I'm curious
sure.
about you guys. I'm trying to think ahead on face because I have time, and Beanhole Days is a very real thing.
Yeah.
And it is the middle of July.
Yes.
Is this something we're considering still? So I know what we're doing exactly.
Yeah, I need to look at it. I also really want to go to the Hobo convention this year as well.
What?
The
Do you want to?
Yeah, there's like a Hobo festival where they crown the new king and queen of the hobos every year, and it's a whole thing. And I think it's around the same time as Beanhole Days. And I've been a fan of hobos longer than beans. I'd like to. I'm going to try to work both out. But yes,
Now
tentatively,
here's
I would
what I
love to go
will
to both.
say: this show has not been notoriously a hobo podcast.
No.
No, that's
It's
more of a
de-
me thing. Yeah,
Right.
What do you mean you're into hobos?
Yeah, right. Thank you, Gavin.
I'm into hobos. I like the idea of the hobo lifestyle. I'm reading a book about the history of hobos right now. I got hobo tattoos. I don't know. I like the idea of like riding. I don't want to do it. I've never want to do it, but I just think it was an interesting lifestyle to ride the rail from town to town and try to figure out like I don't know where what towns were friendly and what weren't, and how to get farm work, and like it was an interesting time in America, the industrialization of agriculture, and it was an interesting touch point in history, and I think it's kind of fascinating.
That was such a valid response to that question.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm
Great
sorry.
answer.
Right. Right. I'm cool. I like, great, man. I'm glad you have a real answer for that. So are we doing the beans or what's going on?
I don't think we can go to Bean Fest until we successfully have a bean hole. I think they got to do
Wow.
Bean Hole 2 before we can show up to Bean Hole Fest.
What are Beanhole days?
Beanhole days this year, Tuesday, July 18th and Wednesday, July 19th.
Then I can do it.
Yeah, I think we go. We don't necessarily have to try our hand at beaning. We could just maybe that's our learning trip.
Okay.
We'll learn from the experts.
We
Yeah.
could get a lot of tips.
Yeah.
We'll take notes.
I'm now on board. If you guys scout Bean Hole Fest and then come back and then do the Bean Hole thing with what you've learned, that I support.
I'm just trying to figure out like budget wise what it's going to be for us to like fly there. I'll send you this link here where we have, sort of an abundance of things that we can do. I mean, not activities because it does not seem like there is much, but there's a t-shirt, there's a vintage t-shirt, there's a beans to go container. There's a package. There's a beans cost, but there's also a beans and mug cost. So we just kind of, I don't want to get nickeled and dimed by Beanhole days, but I am trying to figure out if this is something we are going to do and what exactly that means. Burying the beans occurs on the 18th.
So they sell a t-shirt for $25.
Yeah.
That seems fine. That seems fair. That's about running. I'd say average for a t-shirt right now. They sell a vintage t-shirt for $20.
Right.
Does that just mean it? Now, when you say vintage tee, it's like a very expensive t-shirt where they printed an old Aerosmith logo on it and then sell it for a lot of money. But do you think in this instance, because it's $5 cheaper than the t-shirt, it's just last year's t-shirt?
100%.
Yeah,
Yes. Absolutely.
I like that.
2008
You could look
Beanhole
like
days.
you could instantly
Because
look
again-
like you've been to 9 of those things.
Yeah. So again, if you look to the next one, mugs, 15. Vintage mugs,
10.
10.
Yeah.
Why is it only 10 hours long?
I mean, how much?
I mean, it's beans, Gavin.
Yeah, there you go.
How much do you want?
I just thought it'd last more than a day.
Well, it starts on the 18th.
Well, it starts at 5 p.m. on the 18th and ends at 3 a.m.
I was just going to say, I'm disappointed by the lack of beans. There's only 5 cast iron kettles? Only 5 people making beans at Beanhole Fest?
See, this is why I brought this up because I'm worried about Beanhole Fest. If I'm being honest,
I don't think I'm back on board. I'm see what you're saying, Eric. I feel like our vision of what Beanhole Fest is can
Yes.
never compare to what the experience. And I don't want to be down on Beanhole.
Well, what if we all go and do an episode from there?
Yes, I think that's a great idea as well. I think there's 2 things happening here. One, beans are breaking, but they haven't quite broke yet. So when we get into like a Beanhole days now, we're getting in at the ground floor. It's kind of like how like the first year we went to Comic-Con was the last year you could just get in and get a booth at Comic-Con. And then our booth suddenly became worth like 10 times what we were paying for it from that point on. Like
But
we're
you've
at that
publicly been
inflection
talking about-
point of Beanhole days. Yeah, but we got it, and it's working. Slowly, but this only happens once a year, right? We got to go. We got to prove it out. When we go to Beanhole Day and we show the larger face community and then the world, because remember, a lot of people listen to face. 7.5 billion people on Earth. There's a lot of people that don't listen to face yet that we need to identify.
I think we're over 8 billion now.
8 billion. We got to fuck. There's another 500 million people we got to fucking engage with. It's gonna start growing and then it's gonna go like crazy. Also, here's the thing. We're going to go all the way up there for Beanhole days. Gavin's bitching because it's not a 5-day festival. Listen, man, you're going to want to get in there. You're going to want to do it for 5 hours, and then you want to get the fuck out of there and go
it's
back
perfect.
to Austin. Yeah,
I'm
I
just
think
saying
it's
that
good.
not really Beanhole days if it's a 10-hour event.
well, it starts on the day before, right? It starts on the 5:30 p.m. on the 18th.
Yeah, but if we started Sloppy Joe's at 11:30 p.m. and wrapped at 1, I wouldn't call it sloppy days.
And then the next day starts at 9 a.m. and goes until 2 p.m.
Wait, what?
You just got to scroll down a little bit, and it says Tuesday the 18th, 5:30 p.m., burying the beans. And then you go to Wednesday the 19th.
Oh,
And
I was just looking at the top header where it's a lie.
Right.
It also says 5:30 p.m. burying the beans at South Trailside Park. Watch as the pit crew lowers the 5 cast iron kettles, which they may be fucking huge. They might be the size of a Geo Metro. We don't know. So that they can cook overnight and be served to thousands the next day. There's going to be thousands of Bean fans the next day. It's going to be, we're going to be amongst our people. It's going to be a really warm, welcoming feeling, and we're going to love it.
This is going to be the least my people I've ever been around. I mean,
I
am not going to fit in.
We're a podcast with fuck in the title. No one here wants us there.
And while we're there, we can petition the Chamber of Commerce at Brainerd Lakes to change it from Beanhole Days to Beanhole Day Plus.
Well, no, yeah. I think we should go. I'm up for going.
Okay. We can figure this all out. I just wanted to kind of get the feeling, like kind of like gut check here on what it was going to be. So it is the middle of the week, which is very weird. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday. Like what?
Yeah, but there's going to be a trampoline jump and kids bungee, and there's going to be water wars.
But are you ready for the crowning of the King and Queen Bean?
I am. And then in a couple weeks later, I'm going to go see the King and the Queen Hobo get crowned. Chris Olsen's going to perform his Elvis tribute show.
Oh, wow. The Chris Olsen and his Elvis tribute show?
Yeah.
I hope he gets enough
borders.
time.
It borders Canada.
Yeah.
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 That's a fact.
How do you feel about that fact?
I think it's a factual fact. That's what I think. It's a good fact right there.
Andrew, what if a plane ticket was to arrive in your inbox, all expenses paid, for a trip to the States, but not Texas, not our state, a really north close to Canada state, for just like a 2-day vacation?
If it's legal, as long as everything is legal, as far as me being in the U.S. not working, I'm not opposed.
You're attending a bean festival.
Yeah.
Eh,
We wouldn't record there or anything. We would record at an undisclosed location later at a different time.
We would hop across the border to Ontario. Oh, well, then I can't work.
No, here's what we'll do.
No.
Here's what we'll do. Eric has this thing that we record with Anma, this like little portable recorder, right? Andrew will sit on the Canadian side and we'll sit on the US side, and then we'll
let's
put the recorder in the middle.
Long XLR cables. Can you do a split border podcast? Is that legal?
Yeah. Why would that be illegal?
Yeah, that'd be fine as long as I'm in Canada, or
Because
if I have.
Yeah.
If
that's perfect.
I saw this place up north. I don't know if it was New York or maybe it was like Michigan or somewhere, but there was like a park, and the park separated U.S. and Canada. And so people would come and put their lawn chairs on one side of the park in Canada and talk to their friends in America who were on lawn chairs on the other side. And there was just like a fucking rope between them, and it's like, and some lazy border guard walking around. But like if we could find a spot like that, we could, fuck, dude, we could grill.
I will say the meanest border guy I've ever experienced was a Canadian one.
Okay. I don't know. I don't like to make rash judgments based on one experience with a group. I'd leave that up to you. Had a bad interaction with a Canadian border guy. I would say all Canadian border guys are bad.
He didn't say it was the only bad interaction he had with a Canadian border guy. He just said it was the worst. He might have a lot of bad ones.
That's fair. That's a good point. You have a lot of bad ones?
Yeah, I've had 2 bad ones, and one where the guy knew who I was and was like, "Get in here, you little rascal."
That's great.
Yeah. So it's
You want that?
It's up in the air.
Are you just saying specifically these are your interactions with Canada or travel in general?
No, Canada.
What about travel in general?
No, it's fine apart from.
Really, you've only had a bad experience with a Canadian border guard?
Yeah, well, obviously, and the US, but now I've got all my documents, haven't I?
Oh, that's nice.
Got a green card.
It's great.
So now no one talks to me anymore.
As long as it's legal, I'm in. As long as there's no issue of me getting in trouble.
I wish it worked like that. I wish I could buy a green card, and then if people tried to talk to me in public, I could just raise the card, and they'd go, "Oh, he's got a card. We can't talk to him." You could just like a get out of conversations card.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what that could work out as. Like what would be there's a way to do that.
I mean, I think you just when someone talks to you, you stop talking. You just walk away.
Oh shit!
Hand him a card that says,
We've-
"I'll
you've
know."
just
Big
kind of-
brain over here.
You kind of just put a card into the situation, but I think you can just
No, I think the
remove
card is
yourself.
nice because it stops the flow of the conversation because they have to stop to look at it and read it for a second, and then you're already turned your back and you're walking away.
Oh, yeah.
And the card just says, "I'll no longer be participating in this conversation." And it's green, so that's the official color for people not talking to you anymore.
I guess so. Great. Yeah, green means stop.
So Andrew, you'll come down. We won't record or work or anything. We'll just be beanhole aficionados, and then we can do work stuff later, back when you're in Canada, or we'll
Okay.
just get a really long XLR.
I like the long XLR better. I trust that more.
I do too.
We should find a good spot on the border.
Eric, can you find us a good spot on the border? where we
I'm
can
gonna
do
look
it?
right now.
Like, is there a place where, with like a really long park bench?
Yeah, what's the name of this city? Pequot or something? What is it?
There's
Pequot Lakes.
there are a few places like that.
Really?
Yeah, there's a place kind of close that has some unguarded
What?
border crossing areas that are
That's-
they're like just streets.
Oh, we're getting weird now. All right.
Well, we're 159. We got weird a long time ago. We're not just getting weird.
How far?
We got a
from
guy
the
that runs
border
around
is
with
this?
fucking grown tubes on his feet. We've been weird.
This is not. Hang on. Now, wait a second. You guys were saying this is like close to the border?
Gavin did. Take that with a grain of salt.
Is that not a real fact? Because I supported him in that. I'll be hurt.
I said the state borders Canada.
Oh, okay. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. And that's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after your purchase. Every purchase supports the Shady Rays Impact Program, which works directly with nonprofits and their communities to empower and make adventure accessible for all walks of life. From childhood cancer patients to young adults with serious health conditions, Shady Rays is making a lasting impact on their lives through sunglasses. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code FACE for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like passing a note in class and having the teacher read it aloud to everyone. Nobody else has to know about your secret crush on Stacy's mom. Why does everyone need a VPN? Internet service providers know every single website you visit. Nobody wants that. Not that I'm looking at crazy stuff, but like a little privacy is nice. ISPs can sell this information to ad companies and tech giants who then use your data to target you. I don't want to be targeted for anything. I'm not a big fan of targeting. Sports, online, personal, no targeting. Why should you use ExpressVPN? ExpressVPN reroutes your network data through a secure encrypted tunnel so your ISP can't see or sell your online activity. That's great. You don't want to be targeted. Avoid it at all costs. It's so simple to use. Fire up the app and click one button. It is super easy. As someone who has used ExpressVPN, the setup is it's great. You just click a button as they say. It's really simple to install. It's great. It's rated #1 by CNET and Tech Radar. That does not surprise me at all. And it works on your phones, laptops, even routers, so everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can be protected. I use ExpressVPN, especially during the time of the spelling bee, because you can access content in other countries, and they don't show the spelling bee in Canada. It's only streaming on a US platform. So I love ExpressVPN because that's one of my favorite events of the year, and I wouldn't be able to watch it without them. So if you want to protect your online privacy by visiting expressvpn.com/face today, that's expressvpn.com/face, and you can get an extra 3 months free at expressvpn.com/face. That's expressvpn.com/face. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It is so important to try to create time for yourself, just week to week, and it's something that I'm not always the best at, but it is essential. I have found it for me. If I don't, it leads to burnout. It leads to all sorts of negatives, and it's just so easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you, and to never take a moment to think about what you need from yourself. Which is, if you're not taking that time, you're not going to be able to serve the people around you in the way that you'd want to, or at least that's how it is in my experience. But when we spend all our time giving, it can leave us feeling stretched thin and burned out. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. Therapy is something that has been huge in my life. I talk about every time I do one of these. It just was a really impactful experience in giving me tools and how to manage all sorts of different situations. It's something I would highly recommend anyone. So if you are thinking of starting out therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/face today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/face.
Have a look at this.
Okay.
Everyone there, we all good? We see Pequot. You see Pequot Lakes there?
Hold on.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah. Jeff,
Yep.
you see it?
I see it.
Well, what state are we in?
This is Pequot Lakes. This is Minnesota.
Okay. Ooh.
Just keep zooming. Oh, here. Oh, here's where we're going to be.
Okay. Okay. Well. Yeah.
So,
I mean, how long of an XLR cable you got, Eric?
Let me Google map that.
Again,
I wasn't saying record it from the beanhole
here.
days. I'm saying it's close. It's closer than Austin.
Well,
Yep.
that's no. I'm so not on your side anymore. You've
What do you
completely moved the goalpost.
Yeah, no
If we were going to somewhere that
Bordering.
the state that borders Canada.
Yeah, there's all sorts of places you could go to that does that.
Well, I mean, this is the closest we've been in 3 years. What do you want from us? Well, actually, we went to like San Francisco. That's probably closer.
Weren't you just in LA? That's pretty close. It's a lot closer.
3 hours up to Baudette.
Yeah, we did didn't we do a live show in Seattle?
Yeah, we did.
As well?
Baudette is up on the border.
But where in Canada? Where? Do you scroll up?
You can
There's
get
What
to.
province is that?
I mean, Winnipeg is 5 hours.
It's on the
away.
other
like-
side of Canada.
Yeah, I was gonna say is this Manitoba?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, this is
it's
Ontario,
so far.
right
I
next
have
to
travel
Winnipeg.
So far.
So it's Ontario. Are you cool? Do you would you rather us be on the border of Winnipeg or
I think
be
it
on the
would be
border of
more,
Ontario?
it would be more convenient for me to go to Austin than it would be to get
Go-
there.
If you want,
Then, you idiot, do it.
we can meet in Sleeman. Do you want to go to Sleeman?
Oh, hell yeah.
We can. Here's the thing. Here's the border. Let's see. There's a Lakewood. We could run it over. It looks like there's a bridge in Baudette. There is a customs, so that's not going to work for us. Customs isn't going to let us do that there. Oh,
We're going to
boy.
be to the point where we're just far enough away where we can't hear each other in real life, and we're going to have to be
Yeah.
on Discord, but from like 100 feet apart.
So it'll just be what we're doing now, but somehow
But somewhere way more
Yeah.
inconvenient.
I keep zooming out. It's so far away. This
All right,
is
but here's
so
my
far
point,
away.
right? Like zoom out so you have the whole line in. Zoom out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now go down to Austin. See, that's a lot further. Right?
I
And
guess
that's my
so, but
point.
I guess it wasn't really proposed that we run an XLR cable from Andrew's house to Austin. Maybe
I
we
think.
can-
I think.
What
we
about
wanna-
Wheeler's Point? You ever been to Wheeler's Point, Andrew? We can head on to
I
Wheeler's
haven't.
Point.
I haven't
Could
been
throw-
to yours.
That's pretty short right here. Your boat. What if we get a boat and we go out? Look at
Oh,
this.
look at that little spit.
Look at this.
That's a nice
It's
a bit of land to poach on.
It'll be July in Minnesota. It's probably warm. We swim out to this thing. We toss it. Nick will sort of lasso a cable over to this side, which is like right at like the end of the road. Andrew, you and you come on out over here, and then we'll be over here, and then we'll talk about bean holes. Am I still in the same state? Hang on.
Or 2 boats.
Close, yeah. Oh, boats is good. So anyway, we're not going to do this, but we'll figure something else out.
How about this? It looks like we could go to Peace Arch Historical Park in Washington, and the park straddles the border.
Washington?
Yeah, I mean, it might be a different trip, but...
Why would I try to solve for a different trip?
Look at that. Look at that border crossing right there.
I still like the idea of us doing a cross-country podcast live, even if it's not this particular one. That's perfect.
Where is that, Andrew?
I don't know. I'm not sure where that is.
Okay, great.
Well, that's fucking useless.
I think it's Point Roberts. I think it's somewhere in Point Roberts.
Pretty someone's house.
So is the right America or the left America?
The Canadian flag on the building would probably make me think that
So
is,
Canada is about 2 feet taller than America.
Yeah, just a little.
It seems like it doesn't quite perfectly line up.
That's really unfortunate. I bet they started opposite ends and then they got to that point. It's like, oh,
close enough.
We could do like a home improvement thing and talk through the hedges. It's great.
That must be fun being able to like open your window and spit into a different country.
Who do you call? Like when somebody's spitting into your country, who do you call? Their police or yours? Call the Canadian police and he's going to be like, what do you want me to do? The guy's in America. You call the American police and they're going to be like, I don't give a shit. Spit on all of Canada. What do we care? It's a perfect crime.
Okay, so we are going to Beanhole Days or?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
we
just
should.
making sure.
Sorry, that seemed aggressive, but yes. Yes.
Well, it didn't. I will say it didn't just seem aggressive. It was. So
I support the idea that you guys do like a scouting trip.
Yeah.
And as long as if there's a legal, if like a definitive, absolutely, there's no way I can get in trouble that I'm in.
How can you get in trouble for going on vacation and eating beans?
When we're making content based
We're not
going to
make content there. We'll make content later.
Yeah, we'll just gather experiences.
That's what we're doing now. Can you get in trouble?
experiences.
Are you going to get in trouble because we talk about going to pinballs together 12 years ago? Same thing.
Yeah, it's like I used to go to like RVBTO and stuff. I used to come back and talk about it. It doesn't mean I was working. I was just attending something.
I don't. Okay.
When I was a fan.
Listen, I'm just nervous about it.
I understand.
As long as it's clear. As long as that's my only hindrance. As long as is like definitive, I cannot get in trouble for this. I'm in.
So in this picture, the two Canadians are both wearing hoodies. Would you say hoodies are pretty popular in Canada? Is that what a lot of people wear?
I would say hoodies are popular everywhere. Would you not?
I mean, I would. Well, I would say that there are 2 Americans clearly not wearing hoodies, and there are 2 Canadians, and they clearly are wearing hoodies. I think that's it seems to me 100% of Canadians wear hoodies and 0% of Americans, at least according to this photo.
I feel like you would be the one to have that knowledge as far as the percentage of America goes. You never seen a hoodie in the wild?
I mean, I own a few. I definitely have seen them. It just seems like there's a higher percentage, at least according to this empirical evidence I have, of Canadians wearing hoodies. Primary like just single color hoodies. Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you ever pray for something and it came true?
I don't think so.
I wanted the Choco Taco to come back, and then it did, but then I haven't eaten one since. So it's like is the power of prayer even worth it if you're just going to squander it?
And also, like, define prayer. Do I have to actually pray? Because my praying percentage is pretty low. I haven't shot a lot of prayers out there. So
I hadn't either. This is when I was at school, and I went to a Catholic school, so we had to pray a lot. But also taught like not to ask God for specific things. And one day, I came in from school, and I saw an episode of The Mask, like the animated Cartoon Network version of The Mask. And I started like halfway through the episode, and I thought, this episode's so cool. And I missed the beginning. And then like months and months later, it happened again. I was like, it's this. I've been trying to see this episode from the beginning. And I was like, it's not going to be on for months, but maybe I can pray for it. And I prayed to God and asked him specifically. And like within a week, for some reason, it was on again. And I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I was like, how did The Mask get like smashed in half? And at that point, I was like, maybe God's real.
Was this before or after you drank his holy water?
It's probably before.
I think any line you had to prayers getting answered might have got cut short when you drank 20-year-old holy water off your parents' kitchen counter.
Yeah, it was in the windowsill. So it was not only holy water, it was like holy water that had been in a plastic container in the sun for 20 years. Might be the worst thing that I ever put in my mouth.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of ranges for that.
The context, guys, we gotta rein in this out of context. Like these,
I think that was in context.
Sentences. There's some strong sentences here. It's just really prevalent in these last 2 episodes, fellas.
Which one?
What do you mean? Which one? Like, what did you say that could be out of context?
Yeah.
Worst thing in my mouth.
Okay.
I'm a fucking idiot. I just stepped on that. Let me make it nice and clear for you, Nick, so you can grab it if you want to. Worst thing. God, was that one too? What did I say? Was that also? Could that be in? Yeah.
You're having a tough time.
It's a
What's
tough
going
time.
on?
This isn't a pray for thing, but when the Black Keys a long time ago put out an album and they had that song Gold on the Ceiling was one of their albums. I was like, this would be a great hockey goal song. I was like, it'd be really cool if this was the Canucks goal song. And then they did it, but they used the wrong sequence of the song, in my opinion, and I hated it. So I spent like passively a month or so just being like, oh, it'd be so cool if they made this their goal song. Then was so excited when I saw that they did, and then was just completely disappointed in their use of it. Devastated. But I don't think I've ever like prayed for a thing that then happened.
I think, I don't know.
What do you mean?
What is happening in the last 10 minutes of this episode? Where are you? Are you guys okay? Jeff asked if hoodies are popular. What is happening?
I didn't know about the hoodies.
Are you guys just out of state? Somebody blindside someone. What's going on?
I pray all the time that my teeth won't hurt anymore.
Oh, that's working great. Keep it up.
So far, so good. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. Hey, I want to buy something. Eric, this is a real conversation. Maybe this will make you happy. I want to buy something. Can we buy something?
What is it you want to buy?
So you know how we have the tuxedo, which is... Actually, let me take it back a little bit. Tourism was invented
Okay.
because of religious relics, right? Churches started to, around the world, discover that if you said, hey, we got this piece of the cross, or we've got this this saint's jawbone, or we've got Jesus' foreskin over here in the
I've
back
been chasing
room.
that for a while. It's a great chase card.
People would travel halfway across the world just to go there, and they're like, wow, this is, there's some power in this. And so I've been thinking a lot about how we have our religious artifacts would be like the tuxedo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's important to us, and how we need to do more with that. And then I was just thinking about how great that whole process was. Andrew finding it, the chase to get it, the hunt, just the fun of collectability in general. Obviously, I like to, we make limited collectible items in our store, and we do the break shows and stuff. And I got thinking, like, what else would make sense to have like the tuxedo? And the only thing I could come up with is that it would be great to have a movie prop from MVP2. I know we've talked about it occasionally in the past. And then also, I guess, Condorman, because that's like the trifecta of our childhood movies. And I think it would just be awesome to have, and it would increase our pilgrimage power, right? Like, then pilgrims would come to look at our religious artifacts, our pieces of the cross or whatnot. And so I've been scouring the internet lately for MVP2 and Condorman movie props, and let me tell you,
did you find
it's hard to find anything
it's really
for
hard.
Condorman. It's goddamn impossible for MVP2.
Yeah,
it is like
right.
the second. It's like the second they yelled cut on that film, it was the martini shot and they were done. They just started selling stuff out of the back of the truck. They're like, we're not going to need any of this anymore. Just get rid of it. But what I did find, which isn't exactly a movie prop, but it's Condorman related, is I found on eBay this, which is one of the Baskin-Robbins ice cream signs for Condorman Crunch, which I think in some ways is just as apropos as a prop from the movie, because the Condorman Crunch was like a big part of the whole thing. And I was wondering if what would we have to do? What would we have to do to get a hold of that for are pilgrims.
I think I can do it. I gotta talk. For that price, I think I can do it because it's not thousands.
No, it's like $350.
Yeah. Let me see what I can do, and I'll get back to you because I do think that this is something we should probably have, and I can't believe I'm saying that because it's not something we need.
But what's the goal? So we acquire it, and then what's the next step?
Right. I think it goes into part of like this. I think Geoff is trying to like really expand our museum.
Yeah, I really want to turn the museum into a thing. I want people to. I want pilgrimages to our face Mecca.
And if we ever get an office, that's great for the wall.
It'd be great for the wall. And then it'd be like, yeah, we'd have our own little museum wherever we go. And then like I'm gonna hold out hope that, and maybe somebody in the audience can help us find MVP2 props. But if we don't, I've been brainstorming how we can come up with something. What if we could get a skateboard that was ridden by a monkey? Like that would be something, right? Like if we could find a monkey and a skateboard, have the monkey ride the skateboard, like that's something. Maybe if it's a Bob Burnquist board, then there would be some threading.
I follow a monkey on TikTok that rides a skateboard.
Oh, does he sell his old skateboards?
I bet I could probably reach out and see if we could buy. Maybe it's like, hey, sell us the skateboard. We'll buy the monkey a new skateboard. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's probably just part of it where like you just have to buy the monkey a new skateboard. I feel like people don't like watching the monkey that I like. Like, I think that they think it's weird.
Yeah, I think there's maybe some ethics covered.
Does it have like Borzoi vibes?
No, well, here, you tell me.
It's gonna be a thing, isn't it?
It's a monkey that rides a skateboard. It lives with a dog, and it's like it walks around, and it like watch, and it rides a skateboard. His name is Kekethespidermonkey.
But why does someone have that?
See, this is what happens when people start going like, "I don't like that they keep a monkey." I'm not here to talk about the ethics of the monkey. I like watching the monkey ride the skateboard. I don't care.
That's a pretty cute monkey,
right? And then it's just kind of like getting into mischief and like being like we have to watch to like the end. It's like playful. It's like being fun.
He slides on his butt.
Yeah,
he's a pretty good skater.
To be fair, that's a sick setup.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like it's pretty cool and rides a skateboard around.
What a cutie.
So is that what you're hoping for, Geoff, or no?
I mean, like, what I'm hoping for is a monkey. What I'm hoping for is a skateboard ridden by one of the monkeys in MVP2, or like a prop from the film, like a pair of pants from the guy from Tool Time or whatever. But well, what was the name of the guy in it? Richard Kind.
Do you just want something from Richard Karn or whatever?
Richard Karn. No, I want something from the movie, but I'm just saying I would take anything from the film. But if I can't get it, then something in the spirit of or adjacent would be great.
I think we should try to get in contact with them, the Airbud people. They have to have something.
You are the perfect person to do that.
I've tried. I've hit a dead end.
What if we could get Richard Karn to ride a skateboard?
Oh.
Now that's interesting too.
It's not really like MVP, like, like true MVP, but it's so sort of like around it that I'm kind of into it.
I mean, A, he owned a skateboarding shop, so it makes sense. And B, it's probably more ethical in some way to get Richard Karn to ride a skateboard than it is to get a monkey to.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. I have something for you to buy, Eric.
Oh no.
It's another movie prop. It's a one of three, right? Three were made. One is owned by Christopher Columbus. The other is owned by the estate of Robin Williams, and the other one is up for auction.
Oh, no. Yeah, we can't afford this.
$30,000.
The full bicentennial man suit that is estimated to go between $60,000 and $120,000.
Yeah, that's a little over my limit. I'm sorry. I just don't think that's gonna. I don't think that's probably gonna happen.
Now, is this the suit he wore?
I mean, there was apparently
Andrew Martin's in brackets Robin Williams NDR 114 robot costume.
Yeah, I don't know if Robin Williams actually ever was in there, but I don't know.
I mean, it looks like him, if that helps.
Williams wore the robot costume before transitioning into human form with the makeup effects. Yeah, it sounds like he did.
All right, sweet.
That's a lot of money, though.
That is a lot of money.
You know what, though?
Right.
We can put the tuxedo on him, and he would look fucking great.
I agree with that.
Great.
Yeah.
We just make some weird Frankenstein prop monster from different movies.
Why don't we turn vinyl profits into the Bicentennial Man? Easy.
Oh yeah, all those vinyl profits.
Yeah, all
We
that
just need to
vinyl.
sell 120,000 more records.
Considering we printed 500 so far, we might have issues.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to afford Bicentennial Man. Sorry.
Does anybody out there in the community have any interest in buying 119,000 or so vinyl records from us? Like in bulk, we'll cut you a deal. I'm not waiting for a response. Obviously, they're not going to respond to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they got to think about it. They got to check their numbers. We'll get back to you. That's an interesting prop, though. Was there anything else, Gavin, that I'm assuming you looked at that recently? Noticed that?
I've sort of browsed through, but that was the one that was funny to me.
I like the cheap auction stuff in there is always fun. Like the $100 things.
Mm.
Like
Random,
a cruise shirt
like-
or something.
Yeah, or like there was a gold bar that was used for the promotion of Muppets Treasure Island. That was like $200. I was like, that'd be good down.
That would be good, though.
I regret not getting in on that. Bicentennial Man. Should I watch Bicentennial Man? Is that worth watching?
I don't think so.
Ugh, no.
Okay. Well, I was expecting a little bit more divide or like enthusiasm.
I don't remember it being good or bad.
I remember
Yeah,
having Sam Neill in it. The girl from Matilda. Oh, no, was it the teacher from Matilda? Wait, were both of them in it?
Just to
I don't remember.
clarify, Sam Neill is not the girl from Matilda.
Okay.
Those
Yeah.
pause.
Oh, okay. Do you think that there's a world where we could become like a Snoopy podcast?
You're really into Snoopy.
That's
You're
what
a
I'm
Snoopy
trying
guy.
to. I'm trying to see if I can sort of like pivot something into something that I like, and like I'm interested in, like Snoopy.
Now, is the Snoopy thing, like, are you into official Snoopy merch, or could it be anything with Snoopy on it?
It's not
We're
really
just-
anything. I think most stuff with Snoopy on it sucks. That's
That's how
the
you really
problem.
feel.
Yeah, that's the problem with Snoopy. I like Snoopy, but you know, sort of really watered down at this point. Come on, Snoopy. But I do think sometimes he shows up and he's like wearing a hat and you go, "Oh, that's pretty fun." I like original Snoopy. You ever like check out like original Snoopy?
What's like
No.
the defining trait of Snoopy?
I think he's
Doghouses.
like precocious. You know what I mean?
He's a man of
Like
few
here-
words.
Like even going back to like original Snoopy, like what's he doing up there?
Oh, that is not Snoopy I'm used to.
No,
That's
right.
weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like people know Snoopy as like what Snoopy is now, but original Snoopy, and this is why I'm trying to get maybe more people into Snoopy. Original
Okay.
Snoopy, really cool.
So you want a back to basics Snoopy?
I'm looking for Snoopy.
Back to the
Snoopy
good old
back,
days.
back to basics, and it's like the number 2, and it's a reboot for Snoopy. I think that would be cool.
So instead of like summer of 98, it'd be
Uh-huh.
like summer of 58 for Snoopy.
Yeah, somewhere around there, because this is sort of like the 60s. I think is like the last time where he's like fucked up looking.
Yeah, 60s.
Yeah.
They did not know what they wanted. There was an
Yeah.
argument in like the creative, and then whoever was arguing lost by the 70s.
Yeah.
I can't find you any Snoopy related props directly, Eric. But what about this? This is the closest I could get. From the movie Dolomite Is My Name in 2019,
Oh.
Snoop Dogg's headphones from the movie. He played DJ Raj.
I mean, like, that's cool.
That's not it's not the vibe you're going for.
No, I mean, I'm into like that's cool. You know, that's like cool. But
I just can't believe what they did to Snoopy. Like, what happened to him?
that's what. Okay, so thank you, Gavin. That's what I'm saying.
They
Also,
run
that's what
over in
Snoop
the-
Dogg is named after. He's named after Snoopy. Just
I
in
can't
case
believe
that
he's never
matters.
played Snoopy.
Snoop Dogg as Snoopy.
Yeah.
Like
Like that has never officially happened as well.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Well, are we sure that's the case? Has Snoop Dogg ever played?
I feel pretty confident. I feel like I've seen most of the Charlie Brown movies.
I agree.
In recent years.
Yeah.
I feel like I would just know that.
Imagining Snoop Dogg just sat on someone's head.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What's up?
When Snoop Dogg was a kid during the 70s, he used to watch so much Peanuts that his mom said he began to look like the character Snoopy. My mama gave me the name. I used to love Peanuts
Yeah.
and Charlie Brown. I didn't realize that that's where Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg came
that's where
from.
the name came from. Is Snoop?
I mean, it
Snoop
makes
Doggy
total
Dogg is being named
sense.
after Snoopy.
Makes total sense, but I
Yeah.
just never made the connection
Yep.
Where did he get the second G from?
because he's a G.
Yeah, you didn't think about that.
Hmm.
You
He
ever
just had it
see?
in him.
You ever see Snoopy in like vulture mode?
Snoopy in vulture mode?
Yeah.
What is?
I'm the world famous Christmas vulture in a pear tree, here to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Eric, what would it
That's-
take for you to get that tattooed?
Now
Oh, it
Nick is
prob-
asking what's happening.
I think I'd get a Snoopy tattoo. I don't know if it would be the vulture.
Oh,
But-
it'd have to be the vulture.
The
Has to
vulture's
be
pretty
the
good
vulture.
though, right? I like Snoopy in the big coat. Have you seen Snoopy in the big coat?
No, I've never.
It's just
I've,
Snoopy presentation show.
yeah, I like. Yeah, that looks
Snoopy in the
cozy.
big coat is
Snoopy
very
in the-
cool.
Snoopy in the big coat's good.
Yeah.
What version of Snoopy is that? Is that 70s Snoopy?
Yeah. You get kind of into like 70s
Or
Snoopy.
maybe
I also
80s.
like fucked up baseball Snoopy. I think that's a good one. He's just kind of like weird looking. That's fun.
Yeah,
This is a
that-
baseball podcast.
Yeah.
That looks like, honestly, that looks like a soulless Snoopy.
Oh wow.
That's like like if there was a like in science fiction terms, it's like a Snoopy replicant.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a Rucker. It's like the Rucker Hauer Snoopy. That
So, I
Snoopy
don't know.
would kill you.
I think I'd get. Here's the thing. Here's what people are gonna say. They're like, oh, They're gonna say get Spike. I don't
Are they?
want Spike. Yeah, I don't want Spike.
Is that a different dog?
Yeah, that's his brother Spike, Gavin.
I
That's
know
his
nothing
brother,
about
Spike.
Snoopy.
No,
How- is Snoopy not popular in the United Kingdom?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh,
Just
well,
didn't.
that's Spike, his brother.
Why do you hate Snoopy so much, Gavin?
Just never really came across him.
Hmm.
Too busy trying to watch the episode of The Mask.
I like. What I love about the show is that it is a group of grown men where one of them is asking, "Have you seen this variation of Snoopy?" over and over again. To which it is always no. The answer is no. We have not. Or at least I haven't.
All the Snoopy evolutions.
All the
Yeah.
Snoopy evolutions.
I don't know. There's just a lot to Snoopy. I just think he's pretty neat. And then you get into like 1990s Snoopy, and you go like, I'm done with this. I don't need this anymore.
I just feel like at one point you sat down and started just Googling Snoopy, though.
No, this
Like, you
is
don't-
like
you-
I grew up reading like all like these old comics. I go to like the library and check out old Garfield. I love Garfield too. Old Garfield comics and like old Snoopy comics and like the big like books.
So what was the name of Snoopy's brother?
Spike.
Spike. Do people in like the Peanuts like fandom view Spike in the same way they view like Scrappy Doo? Do people just hate
no,
Spike?
I think Spike is pretty beloved, but
Okay.
I'm just not. It's me, and people go, "Oh, you have a mustache," and Spike has a mustache. It's like, yeah, but I'm a Snoopy guy, baby. Come on.
I'll say this too. I think that as a whole, the Peanuts audience, the Peanuts fandom is pretty wholesome and non-toxic. I feel like they're not very judgmental with their characters. I feel like there's a lot of universal love across the Peanuts zeitgeist. Yeah.
How did you feel about Droopy?
Droopy Dog.
Yeah.
I think I like Droopy Dog. Nothing wrong
He's
with him.
fucking awesome. Why, are you about to talk some shit about Droopy?
No, I just feel like I see more Droopy than Snoopy.
Mm.
Do you think Droopy do you think Droopy was created as a parody of Snoopy? That never crossed my mind until this second. Is Droopy
What was the little Droopy? Like Dripple or something? What was it?
Yeah, Droopy and Dribble.
Dribble?
His son.
What
or
are we
something?
talking about? What is happening? What is this? Why isn't this over
Well,
yet?
Eric
We've been
took
doing
us
this
to
for an
cartoon
hour.
dogs.
What are we?
He's not.
Yeah, but have
He's
you ever
not.
looked at the evolution of Garfield?
I have looked
Yeah.
at the evolution of Garfield.
I would
Oh,
say
Andrew's
79.
back in now.
I'm back.
79 is best Garfield.
So
79.
Droopy is based off of this dude.
Based off of what is happening?
That's who Droopy's based off of.
What?
What?
Bill Thompson?
I don't-
Wallace Wimple.
This is.
Boomer?
Are you Brimleying us again?
Yeah, this
Something
is
for
it.
Brimley situation.
It says Wallace Wimple.
People called him Boomer?
Did you know that LL Cool J came up with the term "goat"? That was him.
Yes.
Oh, really? Greatest
Yes.
of all time?
Yeah,
Yes.
I had no idea. I learned that recently.
Really?
Yeah, that was his thing. Technically, like his Ali's wife trademarked the greatest of all time entertainment or something, but he's the one that like created the vernacular around it and popped it.
Damn. Interesting. Are we going to learn more about Droopy or what?
I don't know.
I'm reading it and it's not interesting. So no.
Well, none of this has been. That is not a barrier to entry in this
Well, don't
conversation.
say that. There's been some interesting stuff in here, but
I
I'm
would name
telling
an
you.
interesting fact that has happened.
Are you basically saying that everything Eric added to the end of this podcast has been trash?
No, listen, we all have a cross to bear. We've all made mistakes.
Yeah, if anything, this is on you guys. Jeff asked if hoodies are popular.
In
That's-
Canada, based on the photo.
Yeah, that's why the podcast took a turn. Maybe we should cut there to now.
So do you guys know about Snoopy's evolution?
No. Yes, I mean yes. Yes, I do.
Let's see. Well, let me check my notes.
We should wrap up anyway. Get us out of
Summer
here.
of '98.
With Gavin's question of how did it feel, I laughed. I don't know what year it is anymore. I feel like I've gone back in time.
I think I'm pretty insulted that that's like the hardest you've laughed on
I
one of the
don't-
top 3 on the whole podcast.
It's
And it wasn't even me trying to
easily-
be funny.
That's way more than just 3 haws. That was at least 12.
Here's an idea for you guys. You guys know how the mall is back?
Yeah.
I do. Yep.
Yeah, and well, conditionally, it's back in some places, not others, but it's back where we are. And you know how much fun it is to go to the mall, and how much I like to go to the mall, and then I like to walk around the mall and look at stuff. And then we did the mall draft, and we all really enjoyed that, and it was a lot of fun, and the audience liked it, and they participated too. I feel like there's a lot of mall content left we could come up with. So I pitched this to Eric about a month ago. But what if we went to the mall together? Obviously, you couldn't go, Andrew, because it'd be working in America, and you can't do that. But what if we went to the mall together, but then we called Andrew, and Andrew it was like Charlie's Angels, and Andrew gave us tasks we have to complete in the mall. Like, he's like, all right, be the first person to buy the smallest item in the mall or whatever, kind of like we did at the grocery store. And then we all run to the wind, and then we try to be the first person to come back and complete the task that Andrew gives us in the mall.
So you guys would show up as soon as it opened, and you would learn the task then, or when is?
Yeah, like
just
we
trying to
would
figure out
go
the
and we'd
structure.
sit around a table like at the mall and eat like Chick-fil-A or something, and then you would tell us, you would be like, all right, angels or assholes or whatever you call us, here, you fuckers, here's your first task. And then you would be like, you need to go buy the biggest bra, biggest cup-sized bra they have at the mall or whatever, and we'd have to go do it, and then and then we'd all come back and compare.
What
our
mall?
items. What's the
is this
grossest
happening?
item you could get in the mall? It'd be in our mall, Barton.
In your
Barton
okay,
Creek.
it's in the
Barton
Austin.
Springs Mall.
Okay, can I have somebody like shoot the notes? You know, like in the early Mission Impossible movies, they'd shoot like an RPG of sunglasses that gave the. If I figure that out, can I do that?
Yeah.
Can I
think
deliver
so.
the message?
Absolutely. And I could even, if you want, I could even go to the mall and just like film all the stores for you and stuff to give you an idea.
Oh, that's a
Give
fun
you-
idea.
see-
What if
see-
there's like a hidden immunity idol hidden somewhere in the mall and you have to find it or something?
That's interesting. That's
It's an
interesting.
interesting idea.
I feel like this is going to make me uncomfortable.
Oh, well, just
Definitely.
be fucking Errol. Just be Errol and you're fine.
Yeah, don't be Gavin.
Yeah, I just put on the arrow.
We
What's the
also
longest you've been a character at one time? Is it just like, I feel like typically I get the sense it's like for a minute or like 2 minutes tops. Have you ever just been somebody else for like hours?
No.
is let me ask a tough question. Are you really Gavin? Is Gavin a character? Have you been a character for the last 20 years?
Look, this is me, right? Here's a picture of me.
You're the mask.
Also, we don't have to do the mall idea. I was just throwing that out there as an option someday.
I don't dislike it.
I just want to go back. I just want to go to the mall. I just want to go to the mall more.
I want to
Yeah, I'll
fine tune
go.
it a little bit, but I like it.
I like going to the mall with you guys. Like Eric and Gus and I filmed an episode of Anma at the mall, and it was a lot of fun. It's fun being at the mall with your buddies.
What if we have, for one of the challenges, best Stuart impression? I know I couldn't say Stuart for like 2 whole seconds there.
That's
How's your
a
O2
great
levels?
one.
1100.
Oh,
Is that good?
is that good
It's
or
not-
bad? Yeah.
It's not great.
Oh,
should wrap this
no. All right, yeah, we got to wrap it up. So you don't die. Okay, here we go. Jeff, you got to take us out.
Okay. Hey, thanks for listening to one of the weirder episodes we've had in a while. It was a back-to-back today, and the second one always slips away from us a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what was and wasn't cut. You won't know because you're the audience and you weren't here for the recording, but we'll all know and we'll go, yeah, that was probably a good choice. Anyway, if you didn't hear it, don't miss it. You didn't need to. Thanks again for listening. Tune in someday in the future for our mall show we're going to do. I'm pretty excited about that. I also was going to pitch the guys a 1-star review game that I think would be a lot of fun that we could play anytime they want. I've been holding on to that one for about 2 months now. Played it with Eric and Emily in the car on the way back from San Antonio. It's pretty fucking fun. So we got that in the future. If you didn't listen to or watch episode 1 of Blindside, hopefully you'll check that out because I assume that exists in somewhere in the world. And next week will be episode 160. We've got nothing planned. We'll see you then. Bye.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Andrew is terrible at Hangman. Let's talk about national anthem performances. What did your high school stadium look like? Can we sponsor a team? Who worked at Hollister? Geoff doesn't know how to flip off a camera, and once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face.